Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk. I'm your host, Saieed Ali, a spiritual consultant and real estate businessman. Remember, for those of you that are having spiritual problems, you want somebody to talk to, feel free to contact me at 339-1670 or 238-6716. You have a property to sell or you're looking for a property to buy, you can also contact us. And if you lend your friend and your family your hard-earned cash and you're thinking hard to pay back your money, once you have an agreement with them, whether it's family member, whether it's company, it doesn't matter. Get in touch with Real Talk, that collection department. You can contact them at 238-6716 or you can contact me at 339-1670 and we will be glad to assist you in getting back your hard-earned cash. I want to say a special good night to you viewers of Real Talk in Trinidad and Tobago, of the Caribbean and around the globe. Those of us on our page, those of you on our page, Real Talk page, like and share as we go live on YouTube, TT Real Talk. Subscribe, hit the bell, and you will know when we go live. Now, viewers, we do apologize for not being here on Monday night. They had the normal political meeting, the UNC, but nevertheless, we are here. It's a live call-in program. Feel free to call in. Our studio lines are 238-6716. Call in as we go along. Let me hear what you think about the situation that is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago, even with you. A rerun of this program is at 10 a.m. the following morning. So those of you who would be watching the show during the day from 10-11, it is a rerun. It is not a live program. Live programming is from Monday to Friday from 7 to 8 p.m. Keep that in mind. As we move along tonight, we're talking about economy concern in Trinidad and Tobago. Government is predicting a decline in revenue of $3.5 billion. Finance Minister Colin Mimbud made this disclosure during a media conference earlier today. There have been growing concerns after the price of oil fell. Now, the price of oil, viewers, is a little over $32 US on the market. So after the price of oil fell on the global market in light of the coronavirus.
We're assuming a sort of a worst case scenario. So we're saying oil will average $40 for the fiscal year and gas will average a wellhead price of $1.80. Our calculations tell us that this will result in a loss of revenue of somewhere in the vicinity of $3.5 billion.
The finance minister, however, insisted that this is not the first time Trinidad and Tobago has been in a situation like this.
What I can tell you, though, is that in 2017, we had a fall-off of between 14 and 17 of 20 billion. So this is why I said we've been down this road before, and we have been able to successfully come out of it by very careful management of the economy.
Minister Mimbud said the government is now looking at its option when it comes to dealing with this situation.
We are looking right now at all of the options available to us for dealing with that deficit, and it will involve borrowing, possible sale of assets, and possible withdrawals from the Heritage Fund if we restructure the fund.
According to the minister, in order to take money from the Heritage and Stabilization Funds, restructuring has to take place first. Presently, no money can be withdrawn from the fund until the end of the financial year.
We may have to consider withdrawals similar to the way deposits are made, because it was every 3 months you look at your estimate of oil prices and gas prices, and you see whether you're above or below your estimate. And if you're above, you put in some money. If you're below, you don't put any, but you can't withdraw. But then you have to wait for the entire 12 months before you can withdraw. So perhaps that's a option, that instead of having to wait a whole year to withdraw, you can withdraw on a quarter-by-quarter basis. But it's something that needs a lot of discussion with stakeholders and so on. Of course, you'll have to go to Parliament.
Now, viewers, if Trinidad and Tobago the financial sector in our country do not watch their spending, Trinidad and Tobago will be in a crisis, because the last check I get on the per barrel US is about $32 and some cents. That is what I got, right? So with the minister saying 40 US per barrel, I have no idea where that came from, right? The last figure I got was 32 US and some cents. Now I can tell you this, if the price keep dropping, not only Trinidad and Tobago, but countries around the world will be facing economical downturn in their country. Call a good night. Hello? Hello? Next call. That will be a serious threat to the financial sectors throughout the world. So how are we going to deal with this? Countries that do not depend on the oil and gas, they will be able to survive. But what about a country that depends on the oil and gas, like Trinidad? How are we going to deal with that? US is already a shortage in Trinidad and Tobago. And if this oil price keep going down, it's a problem for every country. This is not only in Trinidad, you know. In the Middle East, they decided to flood the world market with oil. And when they flood the world market with oil, is where the price drops. Because they are supplying every country with oil. So you can't compete against the Middle East. They're that big. Call a good night. As we move along tonight, viewers, Member of Parliament for Caroni Central, Tiwari, has said this country was already in crisis prior to the coronavirus. His comments come following news of fallen oil price as a result of the virus. Dr. Tiwari made a statement during his weekly Facebook live session this morning.
So all of this that I'm telling you about is a crisis that the government created prior to the coronavirus. So the coronavirus cannot be blamed for all of these things.
He accused the present administration of doing nothing to boost the economy in the last 4 years.
The government has mismanaged the economy for 4.5 years, has brought 5 budgets to the country, all of which were total failures, because they have caused no recovery, they have caused no growth, they have created no jobs, they have created no new export sectors, they have earned no additional foreign exchange, they have created no buoyancy, hope or optimism in the economy.
According to the opposition MP, the present administration is not ready to deal with this crisis arising out of the effects of the coronavirus.
I think that you would agree with me that we cannot trust the government to manage this crisis. They don't have the competence, they don't have the acumen, they have no demonstrated ability over the last 5 years, and all their economic ministers have failed. Agriculture has failed, trade has failed, planning has totally failed, finance has failed, and the stewardship office of Prime Minister, which is the guiding office for the economic ministers, energy has failed, and the guiding office of the Prime Minister has failed also.
There are concerns in Tobago over the economic crisis caused by the coronavirus. These concerns were raised by Deputy Political Leader of the Progressive Democratic Patriots, Fairly Augustine. According to him, there is already a crisis when it comes to money on the island. As a result, he warned Tobagonians that they need to be careful as to how they manage their money.
So we are seeing several signs on the island where private enterprise are already in trouble. Long before coronavirus, long before the oil wars happening between oil giants. And so we have to be even more prudent in terms of how we manage the affairs of state.
Augustine said, there is a number of persons employed by the state in Tobago who have not been getting paid.
And we do have a situation on this island where several categories of workers, and in particular categories of workers who fall at the bottom of the spectrum, who are some of the lowest paid or lowest salary members of employed by the state, are consistently receiving their salaries late. We had a situation where CPEC went 2 fortnights straight without salary. They got 1 fortnight on Monday. That was yesterday. We have some category of workers in agriculture, no pay, 4 fortnights. We have some working in the reforestation program, several fortnights, countless fortnights, no pay. And that cannot be fair.
He is calling on the Tobago House of Assembly to do better for its people. Augustine accuses central government of moving illegally with the THA.
The law requires that the central government disperses funds to the THA on a quarterly basis. The THA has, for some reason, been accepting it on a monthly basis. And that's what happens when we have PNM in Tobago and PNM in Trinidad. They can collude to break the law. And so the THA is living on from paycheck to paycheck. And anyone who works knows that living paycheck to paycheck is a difficult a difficult scenario to live in.
Now viewers, there was a talk of the town that Tobago could stand on its own. How many new developments are there in Tobago? Are there any agriculture sector? About planting to supply yourselves. Is there any of that in Tobago? He talked about agriculture. Did you all hear that the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, that is in Ghana presently, wants to ship from Ghana to Trinidad provisions? So what I want to ask the Minister now of Foreign Affairs and the Minister of Agriculture and the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, to the Agriculture Minister, how much money have been pumped into the dying agriculture sector in Trinidad and Tobago that is almost under my feet? To the Foreign Affairs Minister, being a minister in the present administration, you would know that the agriculture sector in Trinidad and Tobago needs revamping. It needs investment. To the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, you know that there is a dying agriculture sector in Trinidad. You know that the importation of food to Trinidad is way above in the millions. But you want to ship provision from Ghana to Trinidad and Tobago. It is a legend. Why not invest in the provision in Trinidad because we have land. We have land in Trinidad. Now, you want to buy provision in Ghana, and then you have to pay a shipping fee, and then you have to pay a clearance fee, and then you will sell wholesale, and then you will come to retail. Why can't you spend that money that you're going to buy the provision with, that money that you're going to ship it down with, the money that you're going to clear the container with? Why you don't invest that in Trinidad agriculture sector? Where's the cocoa and coffee? Where is the agriculture sector? Where is the growth in the agriculture sector? You want to import? Nothing wrong, you know. Nothing wrong with importation, you know. But it's what you're importing. You want to import something that could be planted in Trinidad and Tobago, and that is the problem. We have a dying agriculture sector in Trinidad, but you want to import what could be planted. If I am wrong, you the citizens say something. Because it's all your tax-paying money that will be importing those stuff that could be planted. Say something. What will the farmers do when the agriculture sector die out completely? This is when you real talk, they stand up for them, you know. You see, when Wasa police wanted to charge farmers from around ways for pumping water from their own pond, who stood up for them? Who broadcasted? Who stand up every night and asking La Hunt, the minister, the public utility minister, where is Mocha getting their water from to water the grass? And if you could tell the people where Mocha getting water from to water the grass, then charge the farmers. I stood here night after night after night for 1 week until they decided to drop the charges against the farmers. So now they want to import provision that could be planted in Trinidad. And then all they're saying, Saieed mustn't say nothing. Caller, good night.
Yeah, good night, Saieed.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, Saieed, last week, I hear the government talking in Ghana, right? That's how you want, how cocoa and coffee and all them things in Trinidad is the best and whatsoever, right? But agriculture in Trinidad, they are boosting agriculture at all in Trinidad. They want to import from Ghana to bring in Trinidad.
Yes.
Right? That's like what they do with chicken industry in Trinidad. The chicken industry in Trinidad, they importing them old rotten meat we kill for 3 months. And they have fresh chicken in Trinidad.
Correct.
On the farm. And people can't get to sell the chicken because they only importing and they ball in foreign exchanges. So hard in the country. And then spending the most foreign exchange in rotten goods.
Correct.
You understand?
Yes.
And the next policy I want to say is the General Hospital in San Fernando and all over Trinidad and Tobago, all the hospitals. You're making 10 days in this month. And you go for glaucoma medicine for your eye. And they tell you it has no medicine. And there's only 10 days they make it on the month.
Wow.
Right? Tell you go Preston. When you go Preston, it has none. You go Siparia. You go Siparia, it has none. So you spending money month and get no medication. And then the next month you come and get one little bottle of medicines. So what were the months that they didn't get though? Which problem they with them?
I understand.
The Minister of Health has been the work we're supposed to do. We are buying medication in the hospital and all the health sector.
Thank you, my friend.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your comment. Now, viewers, the views and the comments of individual is because they show concern. is because they are being affected. And this is the only platform that is bringing real as it gets. Real as it gets. This country public debt sector stands at $122 billion under the current administration. This is according to opposition leader Kamala Prasad-Bissessa. Her comments came while addressing the United National Congress UNC meeting on Monday night forum. Mrs. Prasad-Bissessa said, "This was the highest public sector debt in the history of Trinidad and Tobago."
Instead of finding creative ways to create revenue streams, their only plan has been and still is to tax and to borrow. Do you know today the public sector debt under the Rowley government stands at $122 billion. Not million, no, $122 billion, and they're going to borrow more.
Now, remember viewers, I showed you all how Trinidad and Tobago could make US currency in a big way. We have the Cuba Hospital. It was built under the former administration. It was dedicated to the children. But listen this. If the present administration, now according to Kamala, they named it the Cuba Children Hospital. Good? No. Well, it was renamed under the present administration. You're opening up the hospital to the region. You're bringing qualified doctors. The $1 billion all I wanted to spend to build a massive sandal project in Tobago, you could have invested that $1 billion, state-of-the-art equipment in that hospital and open it up to the region to do surgeries for children and adults. You see, Trinidadians, we have to take our TT dollars, buy US. The black market price is still $7.50. Some places is $8. Right? You buy in US to go abroad to do an operation from 20, 50, 80, 100, 200,000 US. Follow me closely. I do like my boy Faris Arawi, and I follow in the money. The trail, listen this. You could make hundreds of thousands of US dollar in the economy right here in Trinidad and in Trinidad, right in Cuba, in the children's hospital. But you're making it under the US currency. Open it up to the region. I wonder what became of that $1 billion that was going to the Sandals project in Tobago. What became of that $1 billion they were allocating? Where did it go? I'm feeling like tonight is Mashup Monday. But it's like Bacchanal Tuesday. Where did that $1 billion go? And you're fixing the US shortage currency in Trinidad. Because when they come and they do the operation, you're doing it in US. The health sector gets in a boom. The medicine department in Trinidad and Tobago, the medicine sector in Trinidad and Tobago will get sales. The pharmacies will get sales. The hotels in Trinidad will be booming. Not the booming Minister of Finance be talking about, you know. Not that boom. And when the hotels boom, the government collect tax. So the tax booming and all. You see, that is our way to bring in US currency in Trinidad and Tobago in a big way. But what do? We have a big massive building standing up there doing nothing. Nothing. Responding to accusation of our government borrowing while in office, this is what Ms. Prasad-Bissessa had to say.
I want to remind you, we didn't borrow for friends, financiers, Faris and Foster. We didn't borrow for the youngs. We borrowed to develop TNT. We borrowed to create jobs. We borrowed to ensure the safety of our citizens. And I want you to remember, we created over 50,000 new jobs. And we did that without raising a single tax.
So that was the leader of the UNC political party. As we move on tonight, let me tell you something. I could give all the ideas upon ideas upon ideas to make money. Show the government how to make money. That is the biggest revenue of U.S. income in Trinidad and Tobago. Well, I can't go on the oil sector because the oil sector, boom, you know. Imbo used to say, the economy booming. But we don't have our oil sector to say it booming anymore. It boom up. My father used to say it boom up. So it blow up. The next biggest thing we have is the health care. And we have a hospital in Cuba. I tell you, every time I pass and I see it is hurt, man. You know why? My tax money build that. And I'm proud to say that. I don't care which administration it was built under, but I'm proud to say my tax-paying dollars built that. And you must feel proud of knowing that that hospital was built with your tax that you contributed. And today it's stand up and watching we. It's watching us. So as we're moving from politics, we're going down to police thief, alleged police thief. 2 police officers have been detained following allegations of misbehavior in public office. The officers were detained yesterday afternoon. It is alleged that they had illegally seized an undisclosed amount of cash, both TT and US currency, from a home during an operation earlier in the day. The victims were 5 Venezuelan nationals. A report was subsequently made and a preliminary investigation launched. This led to officials from the Professional Standard Bureau, that is the PSB, being contacted and the 2 officers being detained. Now, it's sad, you know. It's sad, you know. Video footage released and the officers are detained. So, being an officer of the law, let's say I can tell you something. We just want to blame TTPS, all police. But you can't blame all police. Because I know of a lot of hard working from SRPs to corporal to superintendent to ASP to inspectors. I know a lot of hard working individuals. Did I say 1 or 2 apples in a bunch will spoil the whole bunch, you know. The whole basket, you know. But nevertheless, there's a video footage released and investigations are continuing. Now, viewers, Finance Intelligence Unit, that is the FIU of Trinidad and Tobago, is warning members of the public about unauthorized sharing of critical information on financial crimes. According to the unit, this could hurt and legal action that could be taken or even jeopardize the safety and security of persons involved in those cases. In an official statement released on Monday, the FIU reminds the public and all stakeholders that controversy of the Financial Intelligence Unit Act, as well as the Proceeds of Crime Act concerning financial crimes, could see those responsible for breaching face fines as well as imprisonment. So sometimes we just have to be careful, even though we are on media and we are bringing it live to you. Sometimes there's a lot of things happening that sometimes we can't even broadcast it, because once it's financial transaction, what about if it turns out not to be true? So FIU is warning the public concerning these things. Now, switching from finance, it have some men will love this topic, you know. Sextortion. Is it happening in Trinidad and Tobago? Is it happening? Well, listen this. A new report from Transparency International is indicating that sexual extortion or sextortion is a form of corruption around the world. Sextortion is the abuse of power to obtain a sexual benefit or advantage, and is a relative new term. The report highlighted cases in school, police stations, immigration centers, refuge camps, and many other cities and places where government officials and civil servants use their power to sexually exploit others. Is this happening in Trinidad and Tobago? You tell me, viewers. It is also highlights a significant lack of awareness of how to tackle the issue in most countries, with national and international bodies largely ignoring the problem. So how do we go about fixing this? How do we go? Caller, good night.
Good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead.
Yeah. Saeed, this administration, this government administration around this country right now, they're talking about the fall oil price, right? And the UNC government, Baslev Pandey, come in power and run the country with $17 a barrel for oil.
17.
And build police station, build health center,
Correct.
fix road, do everything, and pay the loan for the past government had owing. They pay off that loan. Pandey, right? And he run the country with $17 a barrel for oil.
Yes.
So if, let me say, the falling oil prices right now, then a lot of companies have to close down, a lot of people have to lose their job, and all this thing in Trinidad and Tobago. So we're going to be the economy in Trinidad and Tobago under the people. They go lost their motor car, they go lost their house, they go lost all kind of things.
True, true.
And then the government are saying nothing about that, then business that they're only establishing what they feel to say.
Thank you, my friend. According to the reports, many governments don't effectively address sextortion through laws, research, or other strategies. Chair of Transparency International, stated that sextortion is one of the most silent forms of corruption around the world. She noted that it can occur in any country and affect anyone, particularly women and girls, regardless of religion, race, income, or other factors. So this is something that we face in Trinidad and Tobago very, very highly. It is rampant in Trinidad and Tobago. You see, this is the reason why when you hear things like these happening around the world, this is motivate me now to push for more punishment for rape, for exploitation, more punishment. So I am asking the Attorney General now, 120 days for rape accused. It's fair enough. You know why? You don't care of whose life you shatter as long as you get what you want. I am a man and I am telling you that. There are bullies out there. They don't care how many cases I brought before you on a weekly basis. Thank God I pushed for the child sex offender registry and it's up and running. So I want the Attorney General to bring into legislation 120 days for rape accused. Like I said, I am into negotiation talks with a piece of land concerning the Rape Crisis Center that Real Talk wants to build. But I do say I need your help. Because you never know when your wife, or your sister, or your daughter, or your granddaughter, an incident like that can happen to them. And where do we go? Sometimes we have a hotline, the phone ringing out the hook. You feel I don't call it? I calls it sometime just to see what is taking place. And it rings off the hook. But nevertheless, I would always say God ain't dead. He's alive. I'm in talks with someone concerning land. We will get there. Caller, good night.
Hello, good night.
Go right ahead.
Yes, this government presently here, this PNM government, has nothing, absolutely nothing for investment, for money to come into the country. They did absolutely nothing.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, my friend. Administrators of the New Life Ministry Drugs Rehabilitation Center, Hulsi Bagan, has stated that young people who are victims of sexual abuse are cutting themselves and running away from home. Cutting themselves is when you take a razor blade and you just decide to mark up your hand. Because you have nobody to talk to, nobody to counsel you, the parents not taking you on, you can't reach out to a line and get through. She was speaking on Monday in an International Women's Day breakfast meeting in a panel discussion on gambling addictions at the Hyatt Regency in Port of Spain. She said a lot of young people who are cutting themselves are victims of sexual abuse. According to her, that is a way of not feeling the emotions of pain so they won't feel the physical pain. Do I deal with cases like this? Yes. You know what it is to sit down and take a razor blade or a knife and just cut your hand and just watch the blood drop out? Run out of your hands with no pain? How many of you have daughters or sons going through that? I deal with these things on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. I see it. She said many of the victims were running away from home, engaging in school violence, or using illegal substance. Mrs. Bagan said there is a lot of sexual abuse in our country. She added that a lot of young people have to cope with. This is the reason why I am opening or going to build the Rape Crisis Center. Let me tell you something. When you get raped, you will go to the doctor, they would run their tests, okay, you get raped. You make a report in the station, the officers say they will pick it up from there, they give you a line to the, oh God, I forgot, I can't remember the counseling. You're going to counseling. And after that, 1, 2, 3 sessions, that is the end. That is the end. That victim is living now with that ordeal replaying in their mind over and over and over for months. For months. When police hold the accused, you go before a magistrate, you get bail, even The doctor said, yes, the medical test showed that she was raped. You get bail and you come out now to look for an ecstasy thing now to rape again. That is what is taking place. And this is something I am totally against. That is why I am asking the Attorney General, and he have something in the making. He have something in the making. I am asking the Attorney General for 120 days for rapists, because just how a bandit will pick up a gun and shoot somebody, and the police will pick him up with an illegal firearm. Now when they shoot somebody, they're going to die, you know, but their life shatter after that. Fright, fear to leave their homes. It's the same thing with a rape victim. They shatter their life. They don't want to come out. They don't want to move 1 inch from where they are into the future. They don't want to go out and associate themselves. They don't want a boyfriend. They don't even want to speak to a stranger. Because of that. And we in Trinidad, we taking it lightly. Well, not Real Talk, not Saieed Ali, not the staff of Real Talk. So how are we going to fix it? As we move on tonight. Caller, good night.
Good night.
Go right ahead.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Saeed, I just would like to talk on the topic of the impeachment bill. As a young farmer, right? This Minister of Agriculture for the last 4.5 years, he has done nothing to influence young persons to get involved in agriculture. In fact, people are leaving agriculture and looking for work elsewhere. However, if the government puts more emphasis and
Things
more
in place.
security, things in place for young farmers like myself, I'm 25 years.
Okay.
And I see agriculture as a means of living.
Okay.
Right? And we have a body in the Trinidad and Tobago called the Agriculture Society fighting for farmers. Yesterday I was at a meeting. Farmers have to go and pay for water.
Yes.
Right? At 10 cents cubic a meter daily rate. And if they don't pay for it and get a license, they're going to take away a pump.
Wow.
The stipulation to go before water, you have to get maps, you have to get outlining of the area, right? Farmers don't have no tenancy to the land. How are they going to acquire all these things? So a poor farmer like myself, young, who trying to get involved in agriculture will be discouraged.
Yes. Well said.
You understand?
Yes, well said.
We have the Agriculture Society fighting for farmers. The Agriculture, the STT, I don't know if you're familiar with them. The president, I think, is Ms. Donald Suku.
Okay.
They stop all these stipends since December. This government. In 2014, whole year, farmers wasn't paid as directors on that board. I can tell you because I was a farmer, I'm a member of that organization.
Okay.
Right? 2020 is here, and still we can't get no money. I don't know what Karan Chambarat is doing.
Come see me sometime, and we'll sit down and talk, and we will see what we can do.
Sure.
Thank you, my dear. CAFA has tested 40 samples, and none have been tested positive. We're talking about the updates on the coronavirus. This means that today Trinidad and Tobago still has no confirmed case of the COVID-19. According to the Health Ministry, there are 3 more samples that it's the latest update this morning. It is reminding citizens that CAFA has the only lab that is certified to test samples for COVID-19, and it is the only lab that can confirm positive or negative result. The ministry is urging the public to take all precautionary hygiene measures to protect themselves and their loved ones. Now, viewers, we all know about that. So, be cautious of where you go and what you do. That is all I have to say concerning the coronavirus. Because I am keeping you up to date. I am talking to medical staffs also. And they are also keeping me up to date. So we're looking for persons of interest. Sadro Mohammed. Anybody know this individual? Would you let him know that I would like to meet him, please? We have a split here, guys. Sadro Mohammed and Julia Maraj. Sadro Mohammed. This is Sadro Mohammed, friends and family of this individual. Would you tell him Real Talk with Saieed Ali is looking for him? Do get in touch with us. And Julia Mohammed. That's Julia there. So this is Julia Maraj. Friends and family, whoever is watching Real Talk and know this individual, would you tell them kindly that Saieed Ali wants to meet them? Oh, also viewers, I have a beachfront property to sell in Mayaro. Anybody looking for beachfront properties to buy? Contact me 3391670 or 2386716. So when you're going up on the Manzalana stretch, this is what you're looking for. You're looking for the, guys, could you just start back at the beginning? This is the sign. You're looking for the traveling officer quarters. On the Manzalana stretch, when you leave Mayaro and like you're heading north, you're going up to Toko side. When you pass the Mayaro police station, you're driving for about 10-15 minutes, you will see that sign. That is the land. It's a lovely piece of land. The red spot is where the land is. It is so close to the beach. The red dot there, that's where the land is, and you can see the water, the ocean is right there. So viewers, those of you who are looking for beachfront land to buy, you can get in touch with me at 3391670 or you can call my office at 2386716. It is a beautiful piece of land, viewers. You know, I have a lot of people, a lot of businessmen who are looking for beachfront properties. Well, I just do real estate. So get in touch with me and we will see what we can work out. Let me tell you something. It is at a fairly good price. Believe what I'm telling you. Fairly good price. We have a call on the line. Caller, good night.
Yeah, good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, Saeed, when you're a farmer, right? And you pull out for, like, let me say you build a pen, right? And let me say the pen after 8 to 9 years, the pen rotten out, right? But when you build the pen, they give you a subsidy on the pen, right?
Okay.
So when the pen rotten out now, and you have to go and buy new material to build back the same pen now again, right? So when you buy the new material and you get the bill and everything, like from Union Steel or from Dan Steel or whosoever, and you carry it into the agricultural place, they're not going to pay you. They say they're not paying you for that. They don't get money for the 10 years back, right? So we say, so if the pen rock is new material we buying,
yes,
you're supposed to pay the subsidy, there's money spending. They say no, they don't pay for that. The minister said do not pay for anything that paid years back.
Wow.
Yes. So them, and when you follow the subsidy, after 9 months or a year, then you gain money. So how that go boost agriculture? That can boost agriculture.
I understand what you're saying.
You understand?
Yeah.
And then we have so much of carry land where they could go and plant food, give farmers to plant food in carry land. But no, they prefer to build house in carry land. And don't plant no food.
I understand.
The house. You understand? If the virus is spread out and nobody can bring in nothing in the country and you need food to live.
Thank you, my friend.
You need food to live, so they go eat out from the house with a billion.
Thank you, my friend. Yeah. Kamala sues Mr. Terrence. Opposition leader Kamala Prasad Bisesa has filed legal actions in the High Court against our wonderful Health Minister, Mr. Terrence Dayal Singh. That is the man who said, we are always on top of everything. We are on top. We are on top. We are on top. This is in relation to claims she engaged in a cover-up of actual swine flu statistics. Last November, Mr. Dayal Singh, on a political platform, alleged that Ms. Prasad Bisesa instructed the public officers to hide data regarding the H1N1 related deaths for a period 2013 to 2015. The opposition leader subsequently issued a pre-action protocol letter calling for an apology from the minister within 7 days. With no response forthcoming, Prasad Bisesa instructed her attorney to pursue legal proceedings in the High Court. At the UNC's Monday night forum, she revealed that she had decided to move forward with legal actions against the health minister. Prasad Bisesa said she was claiming for aggravated damage, It's a list of damages, boy. Aggravated damages, explanatory damages, and costs over the lies and untruth publicly uttered by Mr. Dayal Singh. Mr. Dayal Singh, if you know that the statement that you make is true, it's better you apologize than to face legal action in a court. I just tell people, when you hear I doing my thing here, all my facts is be grounded, you know. All my facts is be truth, you know. So when you hear you tell yourself you want to take side in court, hey, watch me. I'm going to tell you something. It's a different story, you know. It's a different story altogether, you know. I ain't no court man, you know. I have a high court lawyer to deal with that. And I would like to say a good night to Nazima Ali Knox. She's my personal high court lawyer. I think today's her daughter's birthday. So to Miss Nazima, good night to you, my dear. You just say I don't beg you up on TV, but I'm taking the opportunity tonight as we're talking about that. Let me tell you something. Me being here, representing Trinidad and Tobago, representing the humans, representing black people, representing the Muslim. You know why I say black people? Because I am a black man. Don't want you here and don't let the straightness out of here fool you. I am a black man and I am in Trinidad and Tobago. I ain't born in a white man country. I'm not racial, you know. I just speaking the truth. Who like to fight race? Know what all you're for. Know where all you're from. Before let's start the race talk. As we move on tonight, National Security Minister Stuart Young was taken to hospital after tripping and falling at the opening ceremony of the Penal Fire Station on Clark Road. After giving his feature address, he began to walk down a short staircase to leave the stage and return to his seat. But in the process, he tripped and fell and was injured. Members of the fire service immediately carried him to an ambulance. Young was holding his left shoulder and was visible in pain. It has been reported that Minister Young dislocated his shoulder as a result of the fall. Meanwhile, Minister Young has assured that he is fine. In a Facebook post on Tuesday afternoon, Young thanked well-wishers and everyone who had been asking about his condition. He said the fall was quite a hard one and he has dislocated his shoulder. He thanked the fire service personnel who carried him in the ambulance for their comfort and professionalism, and all of those nurses, doctors, and other staff at the San Fernando, at the SFGH, who diagnosed and treated him. So to the doctors and staff, thank you for treating the minister with great pleasure. And Even though I do talk about this and that concerning the Minister of National Security, I do wish him a speedy recovery. At the end of the day, he is the Minister of National Security, and as for what I want, I'm all about it. I'm asking for what I want concerning citizen and security in Trinidad. So he said that he was thankful he did not break or fracture any bones. It's a relief to know that no bones were broken. Now a little bit on the police side concerning arrest of individuals. 3 women and 5 men were arrested for possession of firearm, ammunition and camouflage clothing in the Oropoon Garden this morning. A release from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service stated that they were arrested during an exercise by officers of the Northern Division Task Force between 5 a.m. and 8 a.m. in buildings 240 and 241. Officers disclosed 1 pistol and 10 rounds of 9mm ammunition, a quantity of camouflage clothing. The 3 women aged 31, 34 and 64. Granny? What? Granny, you are making joke? When it's time to rack up the belt and relax, you toting firepower? These men, the men whose age ranging from 21 to 64, gosh, granddaddy, you and all in this thing, were detained pending further inquiries. The Northern Division is pleading with residents of Oropoon Garden to come forward with any information on illegal activities. Viewers, tell the officers, anytime you come into illegal firearm, call TTPS. Or you can even call 3391670. That's real talk. 2 assault rifles and over 3,000 rounds of ammunition was seized during a police operation along Ryson Road in Port of Spain on Monday. 2 men, a 42-year-old from North Post Road, Diego Martin, and a 62-year-old from Victoria Gardens, Arima. Oh God, all the granddaddies, all they have grandchildren to play with? They are currently in police custody in connection with their seizure. The discovery was made during an exercise by officers of the Northern Division and the Inter-Agency Task Force. The officers were able to intercept a white Kia H100 near French Street. The men in the car told officers they were transporting a washing machine and dryer. The officers searched the said appliances, and within them they found and seized 1 AR rifle, 1 AK-47 rifle, 4 magazines, and 3,050 assorted rounds of ammunition. The 2 occupants of the van were immediately arrested. Moving on, a shotgun, 8 rounds of ammunition, and 340 grams of cured marijuana were found in a camp in St. Anne's yesterday morning next to a marijuana field. Police said the field had an estimated 100 marijuana trees. However, at the time of the discovery, no one was at the location, and as a result, no arrests were made. The finds were made in a forested area in St. Anne's during an operation by officers of the Port of Spain Division. The officers received intelligence that persons are growing marijuana for sale in the area, and they made their way to the location given. It was there they found and seized illegal items. Now viewers, a rerun of this program is at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Our live shows are from Monday to Friday from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. with a rerun the following day from 10 to 11. Our phone numbers in studio, 238-6716. You can also contact my office at that same number from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. That is my working hours. That is my office opening hours. 238-6716, the phone number, 339-1670, my number also. Our office are from 10 to 5, not before that. But nevertheless, we have about 3 minutes left on our show tonight. Now viewers, okay, We are out of time for tonight, viewers. But nevertheless, ilamathar hamati arhoma le'elaina arabaura. Do not get yourself in problem and then you will have to come to Saieed Ali. So viewers, be safe. It was nice being here until we meet again. Enjoy your night and be safe.